Now that the winter 2023 Cour has come to an end, what better time to discuss the anime that aired this season? This season I have watched episodes of quite a lot of anime. Of course there are some series that I haven't been able to watch due to them not being available on a platform I use. They are the continuation of a show I haven't seen, or they don't seem interesting enough. I'll be going through the first episodes of every anime I have watched, and will be giving my thoughts about the series from it and anime in general this season. So in no particular order, let's start. Nuni Nacha Suki na Hitoni Hiroereta, or My Life as Inukai-san's Dog. First things first, Inu means dog, so that is quite an appropriate name. This is a bit of a strange anime. In the first episode, the protagonist has somehow become a dog, yet taken in by a classmate who believes she has found a stray dog. Because of this, the protagonist seems to find himself in some unusual situations. This is not something that I plan on watching further. Farming Life in Another World is another isekai anime where the protagonist dies and they get to reincarnate in another world with a wish of their choice. Instead of bringing a smartphone or getting to live a quiet life, the protagonist chooses to be able to start a farm in their new life. This anime takes some of the elements of Slime 300 to the extreme, with the protagonist gaining a magical farming tool which gives him some OP abilities as he starts his new life and builds a farm isolated in a forest with wild animals, although it doesn't seem like it will stay that way for long. The first episode starts off in medias res with a lively town and then jumps back in time to show the start of the protagonist's journey. This farming anime seems a lot better than the previous fantasy farming anime we got. Continuing the theme of isekai, we also had campfire cooking in Another World with my absurd skill. This anime also starts off in medias res with a brief cold open. After that, this anime starts off as a parody of summoning isekai, with the protagonist getting summoned to another world, along with 3 other people who are each heroes. The protagonist's special ability is online shopping, which allows him to purchase items online, which instantly appear in front of him. Not thinking that his ability is useful, he passes away from the adventurers and goes on his own path. This is a unique idea from an isekai, but it seems like it will make this into a food anime. Next is saving 80,000 gold in Another World for my retirement. In this isekai anime, Mitsuha gains the ability to travel between Earth. After she finds out about this ability, Mitsuha decides to use it to manipulate the people of the kingdom and use items from Earth to gain money and fulfill her capitalist dreams. She found herself in this fantasy world after being manslaughtered and falling off a cliff, reborn rich style. The magical revolution of the reincarnated princess and the genius young lady is another isekai in this season. The anime is actually a pseudo-isekai series as it doesn't reference the world the protagonist came from and has no impact on the plot of the series. The only thing you could argue came as a result of her reincarnating is that she creates several items that resemble things found on Earth. In the anime, noble society seems to be rigid and formal, where she is able to be much more relaxed and casual. It isn't clear why they chose to make it an isekai, or if it is just to capitalize on the isekai hype. Chilling in my 30s feeling fired from the Demon King's army is another fantasy anime, but this time it is not an isekai. In this anime, Dariel, the protagonist, is fired from the Demon Lord's army by the new rulers as he doesn't possess magic. After being fired, Dariel finds himself wandering in the forest where he meets a human girl. He ends up finding out that the reason he didn't possess magic was because he was actually a human. Endo and Kobayashi Live. The latest on Tsundere villainess Lieselotte is another otome anime. Instead of the protagonists finding themselves in an otome world, instead the 2 main characters, while playing a game, gain the ability to communicate with the characters in the game. This is a unique take for an anime, but doesn't seem like a very interesting idea. The producers of the series include DMM and NetEase Games, which seems like an interesting combination. The female main character has the same voice actress as the female main character in Fruit of Evolution. Getting onto the second season of The Fruit of Evolution, a continuation of another unique isekai. The second season of the show continues after the first, and is set in the academy they travel to with Seiichi as a teacher. This season doesn't seem to be as interesting as the first and has a very different style to the first. Reborn to Master the Blade, From Hero King to Extraordinary Squire is an anime where the protagonist, who is formerly the king, is reincarnated into the distant future as a newly born girl after deciding to devote his next life to becoming the strongest sword bearer. The OP theme sounds similar to some of the music from Spy Family. The reincarnation of the strongest exorcist in another world is another reincarnation isekai. The protagonist died in a scene that resembles ancient Japanese folklore, and he is reincarnated as a minor noble in a European-style world. Instead of just relying on European-style fantasy, this series incorporates elements of Asian mythologies, which is quite unique. Handyman Saito in Another World is another isekai where someone with a specific profession finds themselves in another world where they can utilize their skills. This series also starts off with a cold open showing Saito with his party in a dungeon. This episode is made up of a series of vignettes focusing on snapshots of different characters. Both Fury Season 2 also aired this Cour. It seems like a weird time to air as the first episode takes place at Christmas, which was quite a few weeks before the episode aired, although it did have a premiere of the episode before Christmas. There was also the second season of Inspector, which is more of the same as the first season. In the first episode, Kodako gives a plausible explanation for a bad mystery and then reveals that that was just a solution she'd made up and what the real cause was. I've also watched the first episode of several other anime series as Cour, such as Spy Classroom, The Tale of Outcasts, Onimai, The Ice-Blade Sorcerer Shall Rule the World, and Tomo-chan is a Girl. I won't be going into those as this video is starting to get a bit long. Overall, a lot of anime seem to have poor animation compared to previous seasons. There have been quite a few unique anime this season as well. So what did you think about the Winter 23 season? Did you agree with my assessments, or do you think it's something else? Leave your thoughts down below. If you're liking the video, consider liking the video, comment down below, and subscribing so you don't miss any future videos.